Hi everyone, and Tinkerbell's here. Turn around and say hi, Tinkerbell. Watch the hand. Say hi, Tinkerbell. Hello. And we're on day, I think this counts as 8 for Amonkhet. We got one more day of single spoilers, and then all the rest of the cards will be spoiled on Friday with a pre-release next week. And we have a new god. We have a mythic rare, green-red creature that's ridiculous. And we find out new lore on the plane thanks to the story for MTG today on Wizards that gives us more in depth of what's actually gone on this plane. But let's get down to it. So the final god that we currently have on Amonkhet is Bontu The Glorified, a 4/6, 2 of any color, 1 black, menace, indestructible, not scary. Cannot attack or block unless a creature died under your control this turn. And then you can pay 1 of any color, 1 black, sacrifice another creature, scry 1, and each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. This is tough, because in terms of an actual creature, it's still a creature, but unless it's not the hardest to turn into a creature. As someone I think as a wedge on the monsters actually put, it's the hardest to consistently keep a creature, because every turn you need to have a creature die. Which, granted, in a heavy token production set or deck set in this case where it's small tokens, or if you got 1/1s going on, like I do have decks that could run this. But it can work in that, and it can turn itself on thanks to its ability, which does, scrying and +1 or 1 life, and then your opponent loses a life. But other than that, I don't like getting rid of my stuff to be able to attack or make this thing usable. Now, granted, if you're stuck and you need to do that, that's one thing entirely. But, then you can be like, okay, dies and then block and all that. You can do some shenanigans. And, of course, a 4/6 menace indestructible is nothing to sniff at. But overall, it's not my least favorite overall. I think that, unfortunately, still goes to the blue one. I just don't think the blue one, I don't like the blue one. I don't. It sucks, but I don't. And blue's my favorite color in Magic, and it sucks that I don't like the blue one. But, oh well. Overall, no, it's a fine card for what it is. It's also the cheapest of the gods. Well, not the cheapest. It's ranks cheaply among the gods. I mean, the red and blue, not the blue one. The red and white one both cost 4, whereas the green, blue, and black one all cost 3. So fine. Its stats are also 6 butts, nothing to sniff at. But like all the other gods, if you're going to be able to remove it, you'll use an exiling effect, in which case the toughness doesn't matter. So yeah, in the right deck, absolutely, but in the right deck, any of these could work. Then we have Protection of the Heckma, a enchantment, white, uncommon, 4 of any color and 1 white, so 5 altogether. If a source an opponent controls would deal damage, you prevent 1 of that damage. So not worth it. The art's great. I love the art. It's just this energy wall, keeping the horrors like the sandstorms and the undead hordes and stuff at bay. But for 5 mana, you're preventing 1 damage from a source. So more or less everything is bumped down 1 for damage. So a lightning bolt does 2 damage. A 5/5 creature would do 4 damage. A 1/1's doing 0, so forth and so on. So maybe like with small creatures, I could see it. I could see some value in this. But once you get into the bigger creature, like 3 power and beyond, plus like spells that do damage, you're looking at a card that's not going to be serving its point very much. Unless you got multiples on the field, which at 5 mana, don't run more than one of these. Don't have multiples if you can avoid it. I don't know. There might be a place for this. This is a bit of a lackluster card. But then again, it is uncommon. So if it were rare, I would have been extremely disappointed. But it's uncommon, so it's all right. Harsh, and it does say, just to quickly finish that, it does say a source. So everything that's dealing damage will be reduced by 1. It's not just like whenever a source on your turn, prevent 1 damage of damages from all sources or something like that. I don't know. It's working. Basically all the sources. So creatures, enchantments, artifacts, instant sorcery, all that. Harsh Mentor is a 2/2 for 1 red and 1 of any color. Bear, basically. Rare Human Cleric. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact, creature, or land on the battlefield, and if it isn't a mana ability, it deals 2 damage to that player. This is a pretty good card. It's preventing tapping. It's basically preventing tap abilities. Only mana abilities are going to be able to use. So, like, the gods can still get bypass this guy's ability. It's perfectly fine. It will die pretty easy, and it doesn't have a bomb, which is unfortunate. Domino's giving my dad a hard time downstairs. But it's perfectly good. It's perfectly usable. Glyph Keeper, a 5/3 for 5, 2 blue and 3 of any color. Sphinx, flying. Whenever Glyph Keeper becomes the target of a spell or ability for the first time each turn, counter that spell or ability. Embalm, it's a Sphinx with Embalm. That's pretty awesome. Embalm, that mind you, is 5 of any color and 2 blue, so 7. So it's 2 more to play the Embalm on this. I wonder if we're going to get like an Embalm reduction kind of card. Yeah, I am wondering if we're going to get some card like that. It's a Embalm reduction, like reduce the cost of Embalm. But overall, this card's extremely good. Sorry, my Domino's really bothering my deck. My Domino tends to be we spoiled the dog too much, so she tends to be a bit of a tension hoarder or tension hogger, and she craves attention, and unfortunately, her neediness can be very aggravating at points. So trying to discipline her can be a little annoying. But anyway, Glyph Keeper, very good card. 5/3 for flying alone is, or 5/3 for 5 flying creature alone is good. Add that ability where it counters the first thing that targets it, then yeah, you got a good card in your hand. Sweltering Suns is a sorcery, rare, 2 red, 1 of any color, deals 3 damage to each creature, cycling 3. Perfectly good card. If you don't want to wrath the entire field with a freaking 3/3 all around, this is a perfectly good card to use. Plus, one, you can clear the board of little chump blockers, 2/2s, 1/1s, whatever. Or you can cycle it if it's just taking up room in your hand late game. Late game, definitely, unless you're going after token strategy or small creature strategy. And then we have this card, Samut, Voice of Dissent. Now, Samut, Voice of Dissent is a 3/4, 3 of any color, 1 red, 1 green, 5 mana altogether. It has Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. Other creatures you control also have Haste. You may pay a Plains, untap another target creature. So, this thing is kind of bonkers. It's for 5 mana, 3/4 with just Flash and one of these other abilities, Haste, Vigilance, or Double Strikes, would be pretty good. Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste, meaning you can immediately play this thing, attack with it, it does not tap, and you are hitting for 6 power. That's kind of nuts, and then its tap ability, the Plains ability, can basically say, hey, I'm exerting this. Oh, no, I'm not. And I exert it, it's going to not untap next turn. Well, guess what? It's now tapping. It's now untapped, so it's basically taken care of. But what I really find interesting about this is the fact that this is more or less, it's a Shards card. It's a Naya card, literally a Naya card. And the reason I find that interesting is because we learned a couple things in the story for this block. Learned a couple things for the overall story in this current story that we got today. We learned that Amonkhet was not created by Nicol Bolas. It was taken over by Nicol Bolas and corrupted by Nicol Bolas. We know that Nissa is going to go to Kefnet, the blue god, for answers, which is why she's green-blue in this set. She's looking for information and all that. But we found out that there were originally 8 gods on Amonkhet. Not 5. We have 5 mono ones, but we have 8 gods on Amonkhet. The question becomes, and I assume that if we bring up the topic that there are 8 gods actually, we will see the 8 gods somehow return in the next set. Like Nicol Bolas is about to, is the Hour of Devastation. They come back to save the day or something because they're gods. I assume like the other gods, they're indestructible. So unless they're exiled, they can't truly be destroyed. But what is if there's 3 other gods, that really poses a problem. Because if there was 5 gods altogether, or 10 gods altogether, 5 other gods, I could have seen them being like Tri, Naya color, Grixis color, Gen color, the Esper Bant color. I could have seen that. Or Wedge color, whatever. I could have seen Tri-color gods. But they're not. So I'm wondering what... They can't be monocolored gods, because we've already got monocolored gods. They're also animal-headed gods like the other ones. So we have a cat god, we have a crocodile god, a snake god, a dog god, and a dog god, and a bird god. So that's 5 animals, right? What are the other 3 animals that could possibly arrive? I mean, elephant is possible, a camel god, a bug god, an insect god might be possible, like a scorpion or a spider or something like that. But it's very curious how that's going down. We also see Gideon's also. He's like, I'm taking the trials. And then these guys like, these trials aren't what I thought. And apparently even the gods are unaware of the changes that were made to Amonkhet because Golos is so freaking powerful, they more or less wiped their memories clean of the event. So yeah, take that into consideration, that Biko Bolas is strong enough to wipe the memories of the deities of planes. Even the Theros gods, when Krufix actually like scanned the memory of I think Ajani when they went in there, he basically saw his memory of Bolas and realized, oh god, this guy is more dangerous than any god on this plane. The gods of Theros, who are indestructible, would be no match for this guy. That's how badass Bolas is. I can't wait to see what kind of card he gets in the next set. But yeah, no, this card's extremely good. Just to go back, Samut, Voice of Dissent, amazing card. If you get it, play. It's going to be a bomb in anything you're playing. Enigma Drake. 3 converted mana cost, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 of any color. Flying. Power and toughness are equal to the number of instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Its power is. Power, and it has a toughness of 4. People are comparing this to Spell Shaper Chimera, I believe what the card's called. And I can see that because it's pretty much the exact same, but it does not have trample, but it has a bigger butt. It's capable of surviving more, and therefore, and plus I like its art better because drakes are cool looking. This thing is beautiful looking. Overall, this card is I would argue is better than Spell Shaper Chimera, simply because, I might be getting that name wrong, it's the red-blue Chimera from the, was it Born of the Gods or Drained Next? I think it was Born of the Gods. It's that one. It's better because the trample, while usable, and, it's going to do its thing, when you tack it on with evasion, it's kind of just like, yeah, it's a little better, but you already have evasion as it is. So, unless you're hitting a bunch of chump flyers, the trample's not going to be doing much. But overall, no, great card. I'll probably be putting in some decks. Wayward Servant, a 1 black, 1 white, 2/2 zombie. Whenever another zombie creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Perfectly good card for zombie decks, especially with zombies the way they are in this set. A little more I can say about that. Moving on. By Force. This is our 4th story card. By Force is 1 red, 1 X. Destroy X target artifacts. This is the purest form of hate card you could have right after Kaladesh, an artifact block. Dissent, your gods can't even begin to comprehend the amount of dissent that's about to happen here, says Chandra. She's just freeing these people from the sarcophaguses, or sarcophagi. It's a niche card, because if your opponent's not running a lot of artifacts, it's kind of pointless. But again, that's why sideboard exists, so you understand what your opponent has. It's okay for what it's worth. Vizier of Many Faces, a 2 of any color, 2 blue, 4 altogether. Shapeshifter Cleric. You may have Vizier of Many Faces enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except if Vizier of Many Faces was embalmed, the token has no mana cost, it's white, and it's a zombie in addition to its other types. Embalm it for 5, 3 of any color and 2 blue. It is an embalmed shapeshifter. How can you not love that? Especially if, your opponent's like, I got this big thing. By the way, I kind of hope that Leet Worm card, that's the 2020 for 8 rare card. I seriously doubt. No, I think it was a Mythic. That was it. Mythic. I seriously doubt it's a real card. But I hope that'd be the case, because it doesn't have trample. I'll just give it trample. It's a 2020. Whoop, now I have a 2020, and I paid a lot less. Oh, it's dead. Whoop, no, it's not. It's like, why? Why not? You have a 2020. I want a 2020. Point being, Vizier of Many Faces is a very cool clone, very cool doppelganger type of card. Really dig it, really enjoy it. So yeah, that was the spoilers for today. We got one more day of single spoilers tomorrow, then the full set gets revealed on Friday. I probably won't go over this the full set reviews or full set, not full set review, the remaining cards because just whatever. But I will be doing like some card comparison videos and stuff like next week. I'll probably do a video detailing basically the gods versus the gods, the Theros gods or the Amonkhet gods, which are better kind of set and whatnot. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I got 3 other videos to do because some important movie news dropped. We got casting for cable. Death Battle happened, and sorry about that. Death Battle happened, and we got we already got the full matchup for next Death Battle, so I got to talk about that. And I still got to do who would win, Beers versus Dark Side. So stay tuned for those. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you folks next time.